probably should put my headphones on if I'm going to have people be able to call in. Hey, y'all. Welcome in. Okay. To another Beyond the Gates live stream right here with your good sis, You Let It Talk TV with. Shout out to Dominic, our moderator. Thank you so much for popping in, boo. Hopefully your mom had a safe flight. I'm going to give everybody a chance to come on in. Drop your ratings for today's episode. We're going to talk about all of this week, like everything that went down in this week. However, let me know how you feeling about the show. Give me your ratings on a scale of 1 to 10. Tell me how you feeling, what you thinking, how you doing. Also, let me know where y'all are checking in from. I have not done live streams every week, so it's interesting to see who pops in for these Beyond the Gates live streams. And as y'all start to trickle in, I'm just going to get some things set up, okay? Oh, what's going on with my dang? Hey, Keena, how are you? It was a solid 8. Okay. That's the Beyond the Gates episode. Hi, Katrisa, hopefully I pronounced that correctly, from Birmingham. Shout out to Alabama. Welcome in, boo. Give me a rating on a scale of 1 to 10. What y'all thinking? How y'all feeling about the episode, about this week's episodes? They gave us a really good week of Beyond the Gates. They was not playing with us this week. Hi, Ty. Yes, I'm here. Keena, you're from Jersey. Kiki. Okay, Kiki. Shout out to the Northeast. I'm from Baltimore. Like most of y'all can tell in my reviews. But yeah, your girl is from Baltimore. So I get it. Northeast. Yeah. I'm letting people come in and get myself positioned because we got so much to talk about between the couples. What's going on with the couples? Where Vanessa's going from here? I gave Anita a stern read this week. And I know Anita is some people girl. So, you know, this chat is open. This live is open for us to discuss it all. How y'all feeling? Not only how y'all feeling about the show, but how y'all feel about some of the things that I might have said. We can go ahead and discuss those. I know that Anita is some people girl. But the way I had to get her together this week, it just had to be done. It really just had to be done. I'm really concerned for Jacob. And I know this is like a sub story. So I'm definitely going to talk a little bit more about that. I haven't talked about him a ton in the breakdowns, even for the breakdown for today's video or today's episode, which will be up after this live stream, y'all. I was interrupted and trying to watch it live. I was like, okay, I'm going to watch it live because I usually watch it on Paramount Plus. I don't ever watch it live because I want to get through it as quickly as possible. And I watch so much stuff. But I'm like, I'm going to watch it live so that I can have my video ready before I go live and then it'll be done. Cool. Because I still got to edit Reasonable Doubt. I got to edit Zatima. So much after this live. That damn Diddy sentencing came on as a special report 20 minutes before the damn, like 10 minutes before the episode was about to end. And I'm like, great. I didn't get to see the end. So I wound up having to watch it again on Paramount Plus anyway. So my breakdown is going to be a little bit late. However, it will be up tonight because I did record that. Yes, I did do the preview for next week and I record those on Thursday. Whenever CBS is not late, when CBS is not late with actually sending me the synopses, I will try my best to have those up and we cannot release the information. Like we are embargoed. Once they send it to us on Thursdays, they embargo us until 5 p.m. Eastern time, on Friday. So I'm trying to do it where I'll premiere that every Friday. So y'all will have that for sure. This week, I have so many new Beyond the Gates subscribers and I'm so excited. I'm really excited. I popped in this week to So What You Thinking, her YouTube channel. And I think the at is at So What You Think. She has a wonderful live every day where she's breaking down the show. And then I think today she does a panel conversation, and I happen to, Sisters is not on, and y'all know I do Sisters live streams, so Sisters was not on this week, so I was like available in roaming, and I popped into her live on Wednesday, and that was such a great conversation, a little bit of confrontation, but that was a great conversation. So check her out if you guys haven't or you don't know about her. There's a ton of Beyond the Gates creators on YouTube, people who are talking about the show, people who are a little bit more well versed in soaps. So y'all know I do TV and film. Get it? I started watching Beyond the Gates because I wanted something to be able to connect with my mom and my grandma. They are soaps queens. Like, I was named after Erica Kane from All My Children. My mama have a whole story about it. Ridiculous. Anyway, love her down though. Susan Lucci, we love you down. But I don't watch soaps like that. Like, Beyond the Gates is the only soap that I watch. So these other creators I think are really great because I think a lot of them watch a lot of other soaps as well. So when y'all are having all of the references and making the references in my comments, I'm like, I don't know who Victor Newman is. I don't know what's going on with so and so. But I have been trying to like check out and pop into other creators content. So I think that you guys should as well. So this week, like I said, I checked out So What You Think at So What You Think's channel. Loved it. Subscribed myself, so y'all go ahead and do the same. And then a few weeks ago, I ran into Shade in the City. I think it's Shade in the City. So check them out. There's a duo over there, I believe. And those are the two that I know of, and I have like watched their content and I like their content. So if you're looking for more Beyond the Gates content, go ahead and check them out. Subscribe to them as well. Okay, more people are in here. Welcome, y'all. Okay, great. We can go ahead and get started. Katrisa says this week has been fire. Yes. Hi, Renika. How are you? You here for today's episode? You give it an 8. Okay. Am I going to comment on the promo as well? Yes. And we can watch the promo together because I need to go back and watch it. I kind of jumped into doing my breakdown and like editing, and I didn't really pay it too much attention. I need to rewatch it. This week was everything, says J Cherry. Welcome in. Hey, Cheryl Z. You give it a 7. Okay. Hi, Tracy. You checking in from Georgia. Shout out to Georgia. You can... Oh, you can tell with the way I say. Okay, yeah. You can hear my accent every now and again, but it also shifts because I'm from Baltimore. I went to college in New Orleans. My dad lives in Detroit and has since I was 2. Like, I have been all over the place, and now I live in LA, and I've been living in LA for 9 years. So it's also my accent shifts a lot. Do I listen to any of the audio podcasts about BTG? No, I don't. In addition to making my own content, child, I can only consume but so much. So I'm also really not particular, but when I am going through and like looking for people to like support and give some of my time to, because I am very busy trying to push out my own content, I kind of have to be particular, so I can't just listen to anything. And then also, y'all, and that's no shade to the audio podcasters at all. None of them. Like, I don't know what's going on over there because, like, we only got 24 hours in a day. And I don't know. I wish I could buy some of Beyonce's 24 hours because when it comes to audio, I listen to almost, like, 1 audiobook a day. Strong. Audiobooks have been, like, also taking me away from TV to a certain extent, which is why I'm so glad that Beyond the Gates has gotten better, because now I'm more interested in Beyond the Gates in the book that I'm currently reading or listening to. So no, I haven't listened to any other audio podcasts because when you hear me listening or you see me listening to something, I'm probably listening to an audiobook. Hey, Allie, I've missed you. I was gonna text you once I got off of here because I was like, oh, I haven't talked to Ellie this week because we had a show. Oh, cool. You loving it? Thank you. Thank you so much. Y'all go subscribe to Allie Nick. She's a co-host with me for the Sisters live stream that we do. And a really dope creator as well, talking about a bunch of series. I love your name, Tracy, not Stacy. I love it. Okay. Y'all rated it high. This was a really, really strong week. And for everybody that's new, I am a writer, director, producer myself. So some people were in the comment section like, wait, are you a therapist? I'm not, but I am obsessed with like therapy. And I have been obsessed for like the last 15 years with like understanding myself and like understanding why people do the things that they do. And that has like coincided with my journey and development as a writer myself. So like I feel like to be a really great writer, especially when you're writing drama, you have to have a certain command and understanding of people. So what y'all are hearing come out and how I analyze the dialogue and what we're seeing happening is a amalgamation of all of that stuff playing out. It's my writer brain, it's my director brain, sometimes my producer brain, and then also my desire to like understand. And then sprinkled on top of that is if I have experienced it, if I have felt it before, if I've done it before, if I've seen it before, then I pull from that place as well. So that's just a little bit about me and why and how you get the reviews that you get from me from this perspective. From the spoiler articles, Eva and Jacob's brother are gonna link up, and Kat is running back to Dusty Tomas. Eva and Jacob's brother, like separately? Eva has a brother? Martin? Wait. Oh, Martin? You're saying Martin is gonna link up with Jacob's brother? Oh, brother. I hope Martin ain't leaving this house so he can go hook up with random ass people. Y'all. I can't. That whole thing, they are making their situation so much worse. I didn't see a problem with him leaving the house because it makes sense. Y'all need space, and maybe he's using it to manipulate Smitty because he has manipulated Smitty before. But if I didn't take it as that, and I went back and I rewatched that scene specifically because I was like, damn, did I miss something? And he says, like, when you're ready to accept me fully, I'll be back. But he doesn't say that they're not going to date other people or do anything. So it's not clear. Eva and Jacob's brother. Oh, okay. You're saying Eva is going to connect with Jacob's brother. Because I'm like, how does Eva and Jacob have a brother that they share? They don't. This. I probably need to open up my Dagon Discord so that y'all can call in and say some of this because I did not read it like that, and I'm so sorry. Jacob's brother Isaiah. Somebody's reporting that. I haven't seen that, but that I only get the synopses from CBS. Where are you guys getting the spoilers from? Hey, CC, welcome in. I have to go check it out. I haven't seen. I follow Kobe on TikTok, but I haven't seen a bunch of her TikToks yet because I've been so busy like trying to record this content. Where y'all want to start at from this week's stuff and like going back? Hi, Venice. Welcome in. Oh, child. Twitter is a bit much. I'm trying to put my stuff on there, but Twitter is a bit much to engage with. Y'all, if you go back on my channel, you'll see a bunch of All-American content. And I got off of Twitter consistently when all of the All-American people decided to drag my ass for filth because they didn't like what I had to say about Olivia Baker. But I am on Twitter. I just don't get on there regularly. A spoiler channel on YouTube is where you saw it. Well, I only really address the confirmed things that are like sneak peeks. Some of the stuff that comes out, it don't be true. I'm seeing a lot of AI things being made in reference to visuals, and I'm seeing a lot of some, speculations, but they don't tell y'all that it's speculations. Like, I'll let you know. I'll give you the synopses, which if you haven't seen it already, I did post my next week on video. And those are the synopses sent to us by CBS. So that is actually confirmed. So I can't really speak to Isaiah because I haven't seen anything about that and I haven't even investigated. So I don't really have nothing I can really add about it. Do I want Eva to have another romantic interest? Yes. Oh, Venice. Sorry. It's pronounced like Denise. So Venice. Got it. It was a synopsis. For which episode? Because I have the synopses. Let me pull them up. Do y'all want to start there? Y'all want to start talking about next week? Or you want to... you want to dive deeper into this week and how you guys have felt about this week. The only time Jacob is mentioned in next week's synopsis is when Donnell is asking him questions. Yes, next week Bill is going to threaten Andre. I am so tickled by how bothered Bill is. And I haven't for the life of me been able to figure out why Bill left DANI. For you to be in this place that you're at right now, for you to have the feelings that you do, for you to be navigating the jealousy that you're experiencing with this woman, why in the hell did you leave? Because the BS that you was pushing when you first made the move, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. You are too enamored with this woman. No, absolutely not. I'm not buying it at all. What are y'all's thoughts? Why do you think that Bill left DANI? Where's my chat? I want to know when the twin girl is. We probably won't see her until the funeral. I feel like for some reason Eva's judgment gets clouded by her mother, but yet she knows her mother is always making bad decisions and can't fully be trusted. Tracy, that is the conundrum when it comes to Eva. And one of the things that I'm thinking about often before I lay into her in these videos every week. Hold on, I want to move this really quick because this is kind of in a weird spot. Okay, great. The conundrum that I find myself in when it comes to like specifically discussing Eva's character, I would love for her to make different choices, for her to make better choices, because she has all the information that she could possibly need to make a better choice. And yet and still this is her mom. And that becomes a thing that like changes everything, even if you will want it not to. So like, I'll be putting belt to ass with Eva because girl, you should know better. You should do this. You should do that. It's so clear. Like, if you don't want to be your mom, don't be your mom. And yet and still I understand like that influence in and of itself is a heavy one. And it takes a lot. It takes a ridiculous amount of fortitude. It takes a ridiculous amount of confidence. It takes a ridiculous amount of bravery to go up against a pillar of which you have known to basically be true. And that's kind of what our parents are positioned as in our lives. Our parents are positioned as truths. And I talk about parents in the way that I do because I had to go through in my young adulthood, early 20s, my first jolt into therapy. Before I could unpack anything, my therapist was like, oh no, we need to deal with your mommy and your daddy issues. We need to deal with and help you understand that your parents are people, very, very flawed people. And shout out to that therapist at that time because they helped me to really deconstruct who I hope my parents would be, who I wanted my parents to be, up against who they actually are. And not make excuses for some of the things that went down, some of the terrible things that went down, but it just created a way, and therapy gave me resources to understand what was happening from a less emotional place so that I could make decisions in a way that were for my betterment and were considering all of the facts. And in that experience, I was able to not remove myself as a daughter, but the moment that I was able to truly understand that my parents are people just like me, up individuals, flawed ass individuals, that's when I was able to like break free a little bit. And it's like, oh no, I don't have to do everything that you say because you don't know what the hell you're talking about and you're leading me astray. So I'm not going to go astray. But again, it took me struggling and like having emotional and spiritual issues tied to like what was going on, and feeling like you want to be a dutiful daughter, you want to, you know, honor your parents and do this and do that, but they're doing things that's just like, no, this is not okay. And that's a tug and war. That's a tug of war that kind of plays out for you mentally. And that's why I'm kind of giving her credit for not, even though I feel like she has already articulated so much that speaks to her being at a place where she can see her mother for who she is and she should be able to separate. I think right now, what I'm most frustrated with Eva with is that she's driven more by jealousy and spite than she is just about like figuring out how to create a life that she wants for herself. And maybe part of it is also she don't know the type of life that she wants to live. She just wants to take cats, or she wants like what she sees. And that to me could also be, that could be a huge pitfall in and of itself, because if you're just chasing after what you see somebody else have and you're not actually driven by the desire to cultivate it for yourself, then even once you have it, or you think that you have it, you're going to be looking for something else because you never really wanted it. And Eva got a bunch of things that she needs to unpack as it pertains to that. But I'm most frustrated with her because she's making certain choices driven too much by jealousy when she's have the experiences that should have woken her up already. And I still understand how she has, even though I'm calling every single breakdown, I'm like, girl, disassociate from your mama, your mama is terrible, discard your mama. But it's hard to do that. Like, it's very hard. Even when you get on like TikTok and you see people creating content about like no contact with their parents, that is very, very hard. That is not something that's easy for people to do. And I understand that. And yet and still, sometimes it needs to be done. And in this case, it needs to be damn done. Okay, what were you saying about Eva? To your point, Tracy, yes, her judgment does get clouded by her mother, even though she can see fully, clearly all of her mother's transgressions, all of her mother's issues, all of her mother's pitfalls. That's still her mother. And as a daughter in particular, you just sometimes have a calling, or you feel like you have a calling that you have to save your mother, or you have to help your mother, or you always have to be the one in her corner. And it just takes a lot to get to the understanding and get to the space to be like, yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. You believe exactly what Danny said. Haley played him. Haley is still attempting to play him. Bill is having a midlife crisis. That's what you think? You think he left Danny because he's having a midlife crisis? Bill is in big denial. It's the audacity of him to talk about Andre's age. Child, I'm going to need them to put up Andre's age and in Haley's age, because I'm not understanding. I'm not. I feel like Haley is younger than Andre. He fell for the innocent girl act. I don't know how. Bobblehead Barbie don't even give innocent to me. Allie Nick says, that is the $1 million question, girl. This exact situation happened to my aunt. I'm curious as to what's going so wrong and within their marriage that he left Danny for Haley. Something isn't adding up. Something isn't adding up, so much so, Allie, for me, because you also were able to get away with cheating before. So what made you actually leave the marriage if she wasn't stopping you from dipping out sexually elsewhere? And then you go get a woman who is a quarter of the woman that you had, and now you can't even you can't even hunch on her. Bill, please. I don't know what it is, but they need to get to explaining it. Once Danny read Bill getting played by Haley, it made him think, and it's in his spirit. He can't shake it. He's definitely feeling it. The truth will do that. The truth will grab a hold of you. The truth will grab a hold of you and won't let go. You feel like Eva and Kat are experiencing two different versions of their quarter life crises. I don't know. Let me look up quarter life crisis, because how I define it might not actually be how it's actually defined. And feel free to tell me what you feel like it is. Yeah, okay. I wasn't wrong. So this is saying a quarter life crisis is a period of existential anxiety typically occurring in one's mid-20s and early 30s, marked by feelings of uncertainty about career, relationships, and life's purpose. That is not cap. That is not cap. I don't believe that. I think Kat has no experience romantically, and she's rushing herself into certain experiences romantically, and at the same time that she was already poisoning herself up to like find a man, because that's the one thing that she needs. Her career is great, her family is great, her best friend is her cousin, like her cousin is her best friend. She doing all of these things, but oh, I don't have a man, so let me go ahead and get him in. At the same time that happened, Eva and her mama come to town to wreak havoc. And as the well-to-do daughter, the dutiful daughter, her antennas go up. My family's in trouble. Let me pay attention here. I don't think that Kat is in a quarter life crisis, because most of the turmoil that we're seeing is being exacerbated by outside forces. When I think about quarter life crisis, I think about it's an internal conflict that happens when you are no longer sure of who you are, the decisions that you make, why you're where you're at. Like all of those things get to stirring, and you get to questioning everything. And yes, sometimes external factors are weighing in and informing some of those things, but so much of it is what's happening inside of you. Kat is too, at this particular point in her life, is too assured, too confident to be at that stage yet. I feel like in maybe a couple years, when she is seeing more success with Chelsea Cat and feeling like, oh, this is not enough, when maybe Chelsea is married and they not kicking it as much, and she realized that she didn't cultivate enough friendships so that she don't have people to do what she wanted to do anymore. Like a couple more years down the line, and then she got tired of what is actually happening here, then I feel like we would be in quarter life crisis territory. But right now she's in a trauma response to a mistress coming forth with an illegitimate child, wreaking havoc, sending her parents into divorce, and severing a bunch of the ties within her family, while also on a great track to do what she's been doing with her career. And she thought that now, because she has so many things going on, this would be a good time for her to experience some things romantically. And now all of that's coming to a head. Now, Eva, I struggle with even thinking that Eva is having a quarter life crisis, because she hasn't even committed to anything yet. And part of the crisis part is like rejecting the life that you've built at that particular moment, almost wanting to burn the whole thing down. Eva feels a little bit too afraid to want and really desire anything. She's floating, and she's, to me, floating right behind her goofy ass mama and playing off of her. So if anything, I think that Eva's experiencing an identity crisis, but I don't know about quarter life crisis. But thank you for sharing that, because I didn't even think about it like that. And then taking the time to think about it, I was able to flesh out thoughts around it. Katrisa says, Eva is responsible for her own actions. She is smart enough to see and understand what's going on. I had sympathy for her in the beginning, but now she is making conscious decisions to chase Tomas. Yes, 100%. 100%. Same. That's why I love his character, not the new child wife. I think he left to go against the family, and he had issues personally. I would love to see the writers bring Bill's father into it. I thought about that for a while too. Like when they were pushing the whole Bill was just like, give me respect, Vernon. You ain't never did what you needed to do. You're just like my daddy. I was like, okay, so we about to tap on that. Are you about to tell me that Dani lost her husband because her father never accepted her man the way that he wanted and didn't actually communicate that? That's some wild work to punish this woman for. Because for me, I think I'm also struggling with understanding why Dani had to lose her husband. so much of like what is coming out feels like this was not DANI's fault. There's nothing that DANI could have done. And not to say that we can blame the woman, because I'm not going to immediately blame the woman, but in trying to understand the man's point of view, I feel like Bill is not giving us anything to truly lay out what the hell DANI could have done to trigger him to make this damn decision. It's given she didn't do nothing. You just folded under the pressures of a bunch of other things happening around you, which is some wild work if you ask me. With as much history Bill and DANI have, they have history and they've been through a lot together. Bill was thinking with his pants and couldn't see the forest through the trees with no edges. Named Haley. You think the sex was it? I don't think the sex was it. I don't think that she lured him out with the sex. I think, okay, I don't have this fully formed ass idea, so y'all gonna have to bear with me. This is what's bouncing around in my head. I think that Bill is jealous of DANI. I think that he's been competing with DANI for quite a while. And when it's all said and done, I think it's going to come out that he left the marriage because he never got to a place of feeling like who he describes himself to be, the head honcho, the top this, the top that, next to his damn wife. And for whatever reason, he going to have to reconcile with competing with his damn wife. But that's what it feels like to me. Because you go and you pick this lesser version who's playing up, oh my God, what's going on? And honey, can you help me? And oh my God, I need you. You go get a woman that's leaning on all of that when you had a strong, assertive, independent woman who also was still submissive enough to sacrifice so much of herself. So DANI was dialed down to like 30% of herself and she was still shining and shitting on hoes. Sorry for my French, y'all. And you just couldn't take it. So you go and find Bobblehead Barbie, which is 5% of what DANI got in store, because this is more like, this is easier contained and you can kind of be the star, you can kind of be the center of it. Like, that's what it's kind of given for me. But even that to me is not enough. It's not enough of a reason, but it feels like it's that. And then I think also there's something to be said about people who exit relationships with a person who knows you truly and fully. When you are a person who cannot arrive at a place of radical honesty with yourself, like you cannot see yourself fully, and you are in partnership, you are in friendship, you are in romance with another person who sees you fully and engages with you as the whole person they see you to be, you will also sometimes distance yourself from that person because you don't want to believe the truth about yourself, and the parts that you don't like about yourself that you want to act like don't exist and that person can clearly see. The only way that you can completely shut that out and not have to address those parts of yourself is if you remove yourself from the presence of that person. So I feel like it could be part of that as well. Haley only knows Bill to be the protector, the provider, the great lover, and all of these great things. But DANI knows Bill to be the powerful, astute, handsome, tall, philandering ass attorney who didn't show up for his damn kids, who allowed me to sacrifice all of my hopes and dreams. Like, she knows the full gambit of him. So is that also why he left? Because he, instead of changing, instead of growing, instead of living up to who he actually told her he would actually be, pivoting at some point and trying to do better, he leaves the relationship because maybe he realized he can't do better, but he also can't live with his failure in that regard. Is that it? I think we might be unpacking something, y'all. What y'all think about that? DANI knows him too truly. DANI knows him too fully. And he prefers the propaganda version of Bill. He prefers to not be caught on his bullshit. So he leaves the person who, yes, is going to love them, who's going to stand beside him, is going to accept your apologies for the wayward things that you're doing, but also is still going to point it out and not let it ride. What y'all think about that? I want to open up my Discord so that if y'all want to call in, you can. Let me know in the chat. While I open up the Discord, let me know in the chat what y'all think about that. Is that what was going on with Bill? Have we unlocked the truth? Oh crap. Okay, hold on. Okay, so I'm gonna drop a link to the Discord. When you guys come in, you'll be in the waiting room for the live stream. Once I see you in the waiting room, I will bring you into the call room and you'll be able to speak if you will want to. You don't have to be on camera. You won't actually be on camera because I don't have it set up for me to see you. But let me get you this link real quick, y'all. So y'all can talk back to me. Okay, let me pin that. And let me get my headphones together so if y'all call. What are we thinking about that hypothesis, y'all? Tracy says she agrees. Renika says she agrees. Bill is a hater. Is that a fair statement? Is that a fair statement? Linda says that Bill is a hater. Y'all agree that Bill is a hater? Thank you, Robin. Welcome in. The writers definitely need to tap into that if you're correct. I think that would be lovely. And that leaves room to explore not only his past with his parents, but what he had hoped. Like I would love more flashbacks into Danny and Bill's marriage, but then also prior to the marriage and like seeing what led him to marry Danny to begin with. What did he think that he was going to get versus what he feel like he actually got? I think that would be so dope to explore. Like really dope. Watching Eva's villain origin story is fascinating. Is there really even any going back from here for her? She's crossed the line too many times. We can discuss Eva if y'all want to next. Anything else anybody want to say about Bill? I love Danny getting him together and them having that honest conversation and like calling it like they see it. Some of it speaking to how they felt, but most of what Danny said, I felt like was coming not only from a place of like how she felt, but coming from a place of truth. Yeah. So much so that what Danny said to Bill is still sitting with him so that he can't get it up for Haley. But she already over here getting her toes cracked, her back cracked, her neck cracked with Andre, because nothing that he said to her fazed Danny at all. I love it. And I have just really been enjoying Bill be uncomfortable. I've been enjoying putting Bill on the defensive because he has been on the offensive from the very beginning, and he's been very aggressive with his disrespect, very aggressive with his dismissal of Danny. And I love her in this space, in this moment of having the upper hand, because Miss Girl, she had a couple moments where they had her on the ropes. They had my girl on the ropes. It's so funny because I have loved Danny's character from the very beginning, and me and my grandmother were arguing when this series first premiered. We were arguing. She's like, of course you love her crazy. You crazy too, and she just too much, and she need to let this man go. And now my grandmother's like, oh, you see what Danny did this week? Danny is that girl, and I'm like, oh really? I saw it from the beginning. You just got here. Yeah. Only one. Adrian? Only one Adrian says, I think that Bill mentioned it before. He said he idolized Vernon and thought that he would be the father he didn't have, but Vernon treated him like a do boy and he never had Vernon or the family's respect. But he had Danny's. And I get that. Like when he said that, I'm like, okay, that's a very real feeling. You're valid in your feelings. That's some hurtful stuff. I get it. But you leave your marriage behind it. And I mean, maybe because you go and find a woman who don't have no damn family. Like she don't have nobody to look at you any kind of way, but she also has nothing to offer you. And it to me is diabolical because you also, while you didn't get the attaboys that you wanted from Vernon Bill, you got the connections, you got the money, you got the esteem and the prestige that you was looking for. So you weren't completely just used and abused in the circumstance. You walked away with quite a bit. He still loves Danny, but he won't come and flat out say it. That's real. That's so real. That's been my thing about Danny from the beginning. I have said that she is honest. She's honest when she's wrong. She's honest when she's right. Should she have shut up that wedding? No. But even that, like, I gravitate to people and to characters who just operate in a certain level of radical honesty, even when they're spiraling, even when they are, just struggling deeply, but they're in it and they're being real with themselves. I will rock with that every step of the way. I always throw up red flags when you see people sidestepping certain things or being dishonest, whether to themselves or to others, intentionally or unintentionally. I'm always like, because I try to operate like that as well. Like I try to be very real with myself, very real with those that I love, very real with the people that I experience out in the world, so that there's nothing to like question. You don't have to wonder. You don't have to wonder what I'm thinking or how I feel about it. I don't like you. I do like you. I actually love you. I actually hate you. Like that just makes sense to me. And even if I can't say those direct things, I'm going to try my best to behave in a way that's as true to my feelings, as true to my thoughts, as true to whatever is what I perceive the reality to be in a certain moment, so that you have as much information as I could possibly offer you in how you engage with me. And I feel like that's how Danny moves, and I have so much respect for it. I have a good amount of respect for Nicole as well, but Danny is my favorite of the two sisters, even though I feel like I'm more like Nicole, or I was more like Nicole. And as I have learned and as I have been releasing certain things, I guess I'm like shifting to a mentality of Danny, but still eldest daughter, like dutiful daughter, well-to-do, like, oh, I definitely lived that for quite a while until I realized it was some bullshit. Until I realized that role, that position is a thankless position. No, absolutely hell not. So that's the part for Nicole, that I get 100%, but I also want her ass to release. I want her to tell Anita where to go and how to damn get there. I want her to tell people no when they come ask her for damn help, because you can't save everybody else while you're trying to save your damn self. And I want her to go out and experience life for herself, because some of us, like Nicole, have been told this is how you're going to do life. This is what you're going to go get this degree. You're going to go get this job. You're going to go get this man. You're going to go get this house. You're going to go have these kids. And like, oh, great. This seems like it'll be great. And never once did the person ask, well, what the hell do you want? Even if you don't know in the moment that you were asked that, you were never asked that, to even ponder back to yourself of like, damn, what is it that I want? So I feel for Nicole in that regard. Danny's words about Haley hit Bill so hard. You can see it on his face when he looks at her. He is telling it all. He is telling it all on his face, especially the part about her creating problems for Bill to run in and solve. Y'all, Haley, in this whole, I took a pregnancy test and I'm not pregnant, you're going to be upset. Girl, the farthest thing from his mind is your pregnancy. Heifer, nobody was thinking about your pregnancy. You're only thinking about it because you threw this damn fit about the marriage license at the damn law firm and he didn't bite. So now you're figuring out something else. What's the last thing that he really gave a damn about? What's the last thing that I said and I had him wrapped around my fingers? The pregnancy. Let's bring that up again. Haley, get some new tricks, Bookie, because these ones is tired and you're overusing them. She did that as soon as he got home and he clocked it. That's why, because it was so obvious. So obvious. Tracy says, I like both sisters, but I wish I could be more like Danny, but my personality is more like Nicole. That's real. That's real, especially if you're the eldest child. If you're the eldest, it's almost like Nicole's life is what you're supposed to do. And it takes a lot to be like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. And I'm saying that from experience. Like my family still look at me. They look at me like I'm less crazy now because so many things that I kind of prophesied. Yes, I'm going to say that. So many things that I saw coming and I spoke to that they gave me hell about. They gave me my lashings. Erica, you always want to talk. Erica, you think you somebody mediator. Erica, don't nobody want to do this. Erica, don't nobody want to do that. For years, my family gave me my lashings behind how I navigated in our family and like wanting the best for people and like just trying to push us to do more and go for whatever we wanted. It is not until like in the last 5 years that a bunch of family members have come to me and be like, okay, I get it. You wasn't tripping. You wasn't crazy. Like, how do I X, Y, and Z? And it's interesting because now I'm in a place of like, not that I don't want to help, but it kind of, I'm going to say that. I don't want to help. I don't want to be the savior. I don't want to be, for a while, I'm like, yo, I really want to be the dutiful daughter. I don't know if I want to be that anymore. It takes too much. It costs too much. It costs too much. And I don't think I'm willing to pay anymore. And the process of getting to that point of like realizing that and then being able to articulate that and then be like, okay, well, so then how do I actually put this into action? How do I execute that? And what does my life look like? All of that is a process and it's a lot. So you're not alone, baby. You are not alone. And all I say is if you really want to be like Danny, then take the steps that you can as you can where you see them. When the opportunities pop up for you to say no, when the opportunities pop up for you to radically choose yourself and whatever you want in a moment just because you want it. Like one of the things that I had to like work out mentally was, girl, you don't actually have to have a reason. You don't have to justify wanting something because like the way that you want it. Like one of the things that I do, I will go to a park and read. I love books. So I'm reading or I'm listening to an audio. I'm reading a physical book or I'm listening to an audio book. And there was a point in time where I'm like, okay, well, I can't go to the park and read and just chill because I need to be available for this for so-and-so. And if something, this and this for so-and-so. And it's just like, no, actually, I want to go to the park and read. Whatever the hell anybody else needs, as long as your ass ain't dying, get somebody else to do it. And that for a while was radical for me. I felt so guilty and like, damn, I'm sitting here not doing nothing, but I'm doing exactly what the hell I want to do. That's not doing nothing. That's doing exactly what the hell I want to do. Giving yourself permission to do that is like a start. And I just say, look for places to do that with. Her mother is toxic. Who mother is toxic? We've been talking about a lot. Which mother is toxic? I know that's right. And as you learn and grow, you start to release certain things. You get tired. You get tired as you get older. In my 20s, I was like all with it. Like, yes, whatever y'all need, I got you. Baby. In the world that we living in today, I got to be able to have enough for me. If you guys want to call in, click the link up above and come into the Discord. Nana Danny has called her out. Bill can't ignore the manipulative tactics anymore. Haley is upset next week, and you can tell that she feels like she's losing her grip on Bill. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. And I love that. Right behind watching Bill be all discombobulated behind Danny, it is Haley catching hell behind Danny. Because Haley went out of her way, okay? Went out of her way with the fake narrative of, oh, I really just want me and Naomi to be friends again. And I know that I just married your husband, but we can all get along and it's all fine and gravy. Girl, you could have married this man and took your ass to Georgetown. You could have married this man and took your ass to Silver Spring. You could have married this man and took your ass to PG County. But no, you married this man and moved into Fairmont Crest specifically because you wanted to be amongst the same people that he was already navigating with his previous life, and then threw hella tantrums behind the fact that it was not a clean cut of that old life versus this new life, and then do another tantrum because people didn't immediately accept you because you're a damn trollop and they seen you coming. Girl, you picked this struggle. You deserve this struggle. And ain't nobody feeling sympathetic for you in this damn struggle. If you were only worried about Bill and you only cared about the marriage, mission accomplished. You could have took his ass somewhere else, but you didn't. You decided to stay here and cause additional problems, which tells me that you don't even love Bill. I am convinced that she don't even really love Bill. This is something bigger for her. This is something deep down, deeply rooted, some type of goofy ass mission that she decided that she was going to go on, and Bill just happened to be the person to fit the damn bill. What is her connection with Randy? Haley, why don't you have no damn family? Where the hell did you come from? The decisions that you making don't actually line up, Bookie Butt. And you're mad that everybody's calling bullshit and that you're not pulling the wool over everybody's eyes. Newsflash, everybody's not a damn simpleton. And you can't throw coochie to everybody to be able to have them in a daze like you got Bill. Hey, DeMarcus, thank you so much for the super chat. Could you see Brad James or Columbus Short on Beyond the Gates? Brad is Keisha's husband, right? Keisha Knight Pulliam. Let me look it up real quick. I just want to make sure I got the right guy. Yes, that's Keisha's. What? Yeah, Keisha's husband. I could see him. I could see him on there. What would he do? I mean, he's lighter than Jacob. I'm like, oh, he could be Jacob's brother, but he's light. He's lighter than Jacob. I could see that. Columbus. I mean, Columbus is a really great actor aside from his personal issues. I'm just trying to think. When I say if I can see him on there, I also want to see where I could see him fitting. I don't know what I would see Columbus doing. Yeah, he can act, so of course. But I don't know what I could see Columbus doing on the show. Yeah, I don't know. You wish Dani never admitted that she snuck into their home. She's so honest. She can't even help it most of the time. Naomi said it, Haley. She is playing a game and she just doesn't know what Haley's end game is. She did say that once. She did say that. Hi, Clara. Welcome in, boo. I have a feeling that Anita wasn't fully present during the girls growing up. I think Vernon was more present, or at least more available. Ooh. Interesting. Tracy says exactly the real definition of a trollop. She is, to a T, baby. She could have stayed anywhere else the whole time Naomi was her friend and she was plotting and jealous. Yes. Adrian says, I believe that Randy is her brother. The whole marriage is a scheme they set up to get money from this family. Ooh. Remember Dani said she played us? Yes. It was a setup from the jump. So then my thing is, when are you going to take the money and run? She just, like, you're still here. You're also cultivating all these other little goofy schemes. You're here with no prenup. Take the money and run. What I think about Nicole dating Carlton. Y'all are not going to like what I got to say about Nicole dating Carlton. And every time I start to say it, y'all eat me up. The comments are just like, absolutely not, Erica. Absolutely not. This is why being a side chick is it's an exercise in psychosis. I've never heard nobody say it like that. But baby, I fear you might not be wrong. This is why being the side chick is an exercise in psychosis. How does she demand Bill's loyalty to her, but thought its loyalty to Dani don't matter? Yes. Yes, that is so poignant. Thank you. So Marcus, thank you for the second super chat, baby. The Family Business season 6 trailer dropped today. I haven't seen it yet. I'm gonna do a breakdown on it. I have not watched the trailer yet. I'm in the thick of Zatima, Reasonable Doubt, and then also trying to come in a timely manner with these Beyond the Gates videos. So I have not watched that just yet, but I got you. I got you. I have a family business playlist, so turn on the bell notifications for that, DeMarcus, if you want to know the moment that I drop it. I think that's why their advice is different and Vernon has more substance. Okay. Well, somebody said it. Let's talk about Nicole and let's talk about Nicole and Carlton. So I'm gonna write this down because I was about to go in on Anita, but they said that first. Nicole and Carlton, and it won't take as long. We all understand that I don't like Ted, right? We'll probably never like Ted. I don't like Ted the same way I don't like Lewis on Reasonable Doubt. The same way I've been really struggling with putting Zach in this category, but I fear that he's going to wind up making his way into that category as well. He's not there fully yet, but he might end up there. There are certain men that I don't like, and there's no coming back for them. They didn't miss their damn opportunity. I don't think Nicole owes Ted any ounce of loyalty at all. She owes him nothing. Everything that she owed him, she has already given to him, and he has downplayed it, discarded it, disrespected it, did not value it. And what happens when you do not value things of value that are in your possession? Sometimes somebody comes and takes them from you. And that's exactly what happened. So if Nicole feels like she wants to explore things with Carlton and he's next up in the romance department for her, by golly, Miss Molly, do your thing. And not even on a just make him pay type of thing. Because I don't even, if it was just for that purpose, I wouldn't want her to do it. But it feels like this is another man that she knows very well and that she feels comfortable with. So I'm all for her comfort, and as she navigates this decoupling and this divorce and this re-establishing of her life on her own terms, in addition to her having to now go and find a new man to love and to love her, she is also put in a position of like questioning so many things that she thought to be true about her life, not just her marriage. Nicole has done a phenomenal job of following the damn plan. The plan laid out for her by other people around her. She consented to it. So I'm not saying that they dragged her and beat her and made her be this person. She consented to a certain degree, but she consented to something, and then other people started to renege. Other people started to hold back on honesty and on truth, and weren't able to keep up their end of the damn bargain, even though she kept up hers. So she rightfully so was in a position now to question many of the decisions that she made under the guys that she was on the same page with these people who have now betrayed her, who have now deceived her, who have now lied to her. Of course, she's going to think maybe I should make a different decision. And right now, the different decision looks like dating Carlton. And I personally see nothing wrong with them. That they're two consenting adults. If anything, Carlton is quote unquote supposed to be his best friend. She is in the process of no longer being his wife and has put him out the house, has not engaged with him physically at all, is not leading him on, is not dragging him through. She's been very clear in her communication about her hurt, about her pain, about her betrayal, about where she stands. And Ted, for the most part, has done little to nothing to alleviate, mitigate, and or temper any of it. He has exposed her to deep hurt, deep betrayal. And she just kind of left with it because she's the eldest daughter. She's the well-to-do daughter, and she's mostly tasked with figuring things out and being a damn strong one. So you left her and thought that you was going to give it time, and time was going to have her forget that you betrayed her, forget that you've been lying to her, forget that you took your damn son to go freak off. Like, Ted, please. Nicole owes Ted nothing. She don't owe him a high as they pass each other in Orphe jeans. Because he reneged not only on their marriage and their vows, but he reneged on their friendship and what they were supposed to have in honesty and communication with that. He reneged as her damn life partner. He reneged. You do not get access to all of my commitment, all of my loyalty, all of my attention, all of my effort, all of me, while giving me 15% of you when we decided that we was going to give each other 100% of each other. Go to hell with that. You renege, I'm reneging, I'm taking it elsewhere. And if you mad where I take it, that's on you, baby. You better take it up with Jesus and your therapist. Jesus and your therapist. And since you can't seem to find that, all you seem to find is a damn bottle in your lunatic ass mistress. Go tell them about it. Go see if they could do something about it. Because I ain't got nothing for you. I think that women are socialized to continuously sacrifice themselves, continuously sacrifice what they believe and what they hope for, continuously temper how they feel, especially when things are done to them and they have reactions. We're supposed to mitigate that, and we're still supposed to act in a certain way and talk in a certain way. And it's bump that for me. Bump that. If I want to come to you with decorum, I'm going to come to you with decorum. But if I want to come to you with that rah-rah, I'm going to come to you with that rah-rah. And if I want to hunch on your best friend after you betrayed me after 30 years of marriage and took my damn son to that lunatic's house, then I'm going to hunch on your best friend. And you ain't going to be able to do a damn thing about it. Go get another bottle. So that's my thoughts on that, y'all. I'm sorry. That was a rant that came out of nowhere, and I just couldn't stop for a second. Whew. If y'all want to call in, if you want to speak, you can click in the pinned comment. There is a link to the Discord. Join the waiting room, and I will bring you in, and we can have a conversation. But if not, if you feel fine just continuing to type, you can. I just want to let y'all know that the lines are open for you to call in. Lavonda says, Nicole, go get your groove back, girl. Yes. And the men folk are not going to understand it because it's like, oh, but that's his best friend. Well, no, a lot of women are in my comments like, no, this is not right. Somebody said 2 wrongs don't make a right. Where is she wrong? Baby, I think I was sent here to buck the program and the programming and to decolonize the Black women's minds as it pertains to how we show up in the world and the expectations that are placed upon us and that we are almost coerced into accepting, and tell y'all don't gotta accept that you quite literally don't have to. Yes, there's a certain amount of things that are tied to the character that you want to have in this world and how you want to see yourself actualized in this world. But also you are a whole ass individual who is deserving of respect, who is deserving of loyalty, who is deserving of honor, of reverence in your relationships. You are deserving of receiving any and everything that you give to somebody. In the moment that person decides they don't think that you're valuable enough to give you what they get from you, you are 100% free to revoke that access to you and go about your damn business. Heal, be healthy, and make a better decision moving forward, because now you see who that person, who they are. No amount of love, no amount of family, no amount of proxy should have you tethered to some toxic ass person who has no problem deeply hurting you, betraying you, and then you have to continue to turn the other damn cheek. Go to Jesus about it, because I ain't him. I'm sitting here to tell y'all that. I'm the friend that's going to tell you that. If you want to stay with the man, if you want your marriage back, I'm going to be there to a certain extent and like, okay, girl, if that's what you want. But I'm all for what Black women want, because so often we are just told that we're supposed to give up what we want. We're supposed to sacrifice what we want. What we want matters. And if Nicole wants to be free of this raggedy, free my girl, okay? She has to go on her life. Exactly. Hey Janelle, welcome in, boo. Thank you for being a member of the channel. I got so much members only content coming, and I'm really, really excited about it because I'm like trying new things, and I have a couple of like essays that I put together, and I hope that y'all love it, but I cannot wait for y'all to see it. Carlton is trying to one up Ted by getting with Nicole. I'm not mad at her for moving on, but I'm here for her wanting to date. Okay. All right. So like, let's play that out, right? Let's play that out. Let's say that Carlton is just trying to one up Ted. What do y'all think Nicole wants out of it? Let's really unpack this, because if that's the case, I have yet to get the feeling that Nicole is actually seeking love with this man. What if Nicole is just seeking getting hunched on? What if Nicole really just want to be put through the mattress? And she feels like Carlton is the best candidate, and she knows him. So she feels safest with him to do so. Would people be fine with it then? If she wasn't planning to fall in love with the man? Ty says Nicole is only going to, for now, go with safe options. Carlton is safe to her because he's within the circle and she doesn't have to look that far. Yes, I would agree. I think that she sees him safe, like physically, medically. He's safe financially because he's already, like you said, he's already in the world that she's in. She doesn't have to go pick him up and then discover that he living with 16 roommates or whatever, or living with his mama. No shade to anybody like that, but he is already in the spaces that she's operating in. So there's so much less vetting that has to happen to try to protect herself. And he's fine. We cannot forget that part. He's fine. Nicole needs to have an F and F as her ringtone for Ted. I love it. Catrice says, my thing is her choosing to date Carlton is just as messy as DANI dating Andre. I feel like she was a bit jealous of DANI. I think those things are separate though. I think that she's jealous of DANI and how free DANI is in her life. And she wants that. I don't think that she wants a messy situation. And my response also to that is like, yes, is it messy? It can be. But only to the degree that you actually accept and allow, because the moment that it doesn't matter to Carlton or to her what the hell anybody else thinks, then it no longer becomes messy for them. That's not something that they actually have to take up space and think about. If they're not worried about people whispering about them, then they're free of that. I think that a lot of the things that we do in life are messy. I think that things are way more messy than it is clean. And I think that we tell ourselves a fairy tale when we push to make the cleaner choice, to not be messy, when that thing might be clean and straightforward in reference to like, oh, this is somebody that's not in the damn friend group, but it's also somebody that you don't trust or you don't know. So then now maybe it's not as messy on the outside in reference to what other people think, but it becomes messy on the inside because all of the anxiety that you have to deal with, and like you're pushing yourself to not do the thing that you actually want to do, also that you can save face for some people who don't even really give a damn about you, or maybe don't even give a damn about themselves enough. Like, I'm also at a place now in my life where I don't care as much about what the world thinks of me. I personally want to be at peace with myself. I want to be good with myself. And if I'm good with the decisions that I'm about to make, if I'm good with the things that I'm deciding to say, y'all asses better go to Jesus about it, because I cannot hold space for me to be as true and open and honest with myself while also harboring all of your thoughts, projections, validations, or invalidations as well. Most of what other people think about you is not even your business. And to me, things become a lot less messy off the strength of that. The moment that you realize that most of the things that people got some to say about that have nothing to do with them ain't even their damn business, and what they think about it ain't yours, it stops being messy. To me. If Nicole can move through Fairmont Crest, can move through the country club, can go into the hospital with her head held high and confidence with Carlton on her arm, then it ain't actually messy for her. Y'all say what the hell you want to say, because the same people that's going to be talking would be what? Shanice, and no shade, because I love my girl, but you went on a date with that random ass half of the Wonder Bread who's pining after the other side of the damn Wonder Bread. You can't say nothing about her. Wonder Bread is marrying the other side of the damn Wonder Bread in a wheelchair while she's pining after Andre's ass. She can't say about Nicole. Like, do I have to run everybody whole facts in the whole damn community? Everybody got some shit with them. If we so worried about what this person think, what that person think, actually, this is a practice. If you're worried about what somebody think, also contextualize their life real quick. Would you trade places with them? Probably not. And two, can they actually speak to you in a way where their life is completely clean? If not, they can't say shit to you. Can't say a damn thing to you. If you don't want to be that person or live their life the way that they live life the way that they live, or they don't have a squeaky clean life, it's nothing to be said. That's my opinion. But again, I've done a certain level of work. I have processed a certain level of things. I have decentered men in my life. I've also decentered my parents. So my mindset is a little bit different than how a lot of people are operating. I think a lot of people are stuck in a way where they're centering so many other people in a life that they're supposed to be the main character in. Nicole and Carlton are only messy for Ted. Maybe Anita and Vernon, because they give a damn about what people's reputations are. Andre and Danny are only messy for people outside of Andre and Danny. Inside of the unit that is Andre and Danny, they make complete sense to each other. Let's think about it like that, you know? I don't know if anyone has touched on this, but has anyone thought that Nicole could be jealous of Danny's freedom? Meaning, yeah, I think I just said that. She's free-spirited, but Nicole was put together 100%. I think that that's the case. And I think we're about to watch Nicole discover that, because I don't think that she realizes it yet. I don't think that she realizes that she's jealous of that in Danny. But her criticism around the marriage is what's going to help contextualize it for her, I think. Okay, we done with Nicole and Carlton, so we can go on to Anita. Janelle not reminding us that Anita is toxic. Yeah, y'all. Y'all's matriarch is toxic. She is the reason for plenty of mommy issues. Hell, grandmama issues. Yeah. Janelle, why are you saying that Anita is toxic? I know I read her down. I think I read her down on Wednesday. But I would love to know. Do y'all agree? Do you think that she's toxic as well? Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Wow. And my voice, child. My voice. For some reason, I could also see Erica Alexander replies her role as Maxine Shaw. Oh, that would be lit. That would be fire. I agree, Tracy. That would be everything. I'm sorry I missed that earlier, but that is it. I would love to see Maxine Shaw come and consult on a case at Bill Hamilton's. I would love that. I would love that. I think I got everything. Okay. Anita is teaching her kids and grandkids how to be how she was when she was younger. But baby, that's toxic AF. I would say that she wasn't even like this because she grew up in the projects. I think that Anita has a toxic relationship with poverty. That's the first time I articulated that. So I'm also processing how I want to continue. Give me a second. There's something to be said about people who come from the hood, who come from the projects. And I'm saying this being a girl from Northeast Baltimore City. So much of my young adulthood was, I got to get out. I got to make it out. I got to make it out. And for me, that was channeled into sports. Like I played basketball. I wound up going to college on a basketball and volleyball scholarship. But I played sports, and that was my way out. I was also pretty smart, but that was going to be my way out to do better, right? And if you're not careful, spending a sustained amount of time in survival mode in circumstances like the projects and like the hood will condition you to be a person that feels like they constantly have to survive. And you create sometimes a persona that you ride into your prosperity. And I think Anita Williams became Anita Dupree with all the pretense and with all the prestige and with all of the money and affluence is cool, but she deeply associates her sustained survival and never going back to the hood to maintaining all of this other stuff that comes with the money and the privilege that she has amassed all this time. So she, I feel like, is not as present as a person as she could be because she's so committed to the performance of Anita Dupree and the Dupree legacy and the Dupree this and the Dupree that, because this is the thing that saved her. This is the thing that pulled her out of that. And instead of being able to look back at her past, thank it for what it did for her, because for a lot of us, it put a hunger in us that we probably wouldn't have had, had we not had to experience that. And, sometimes you resent where you came from and all the hardship that you had to go through. So I'm not negating that at all, right? I'm not negating that at all. But if you can't get to the point of like, you can respect your past, you can honor your past without resenting it, then you're using one hand to hold on to the past so that you have it in enough grasp so you know that you're never going to be that, which is like, girl, you're not going to forget that. Let it go. But you holding on to it because no, I will never be that. And then you have one hand grabbing on to what you think is the antithesis of that, which she has built as Anita Dupree. And she's kind of like in this constant tug of war, making decisions that are more so of like, I'm never going back, which, girl, you're already in a position of you're never going back. You don't have to keep up this performance. You don't have to keep presenting yourself in this way. You've already amassed millions of dollars. You already have had kids that have had kids. You have a mansion. Like, you have all of these things. You have a husband that loves you. You have all of these things that are not going away. You don't have to keep performing for folks, but you feel like if you stop performing for folks, you're going to take your ass back to the projects. And that's what I mean when I say that Anita has a toxic relationship with her former impoverished life. Or at least that's what it seems like to me. And until she steps out of the performance of Anita Dupree, she won't be able to be present as the Anita she currently is for her family that needs her to be. She needs to, like, she does have a certain level of like empathy and sympathy and compassion because she's able to try to help her family through specific circumstances. But the rigidness that comes when overly messy things pop up and like, DANI, what are you doing? You're throwing your life away. Like, all of that is entirely too much, because even if DANI is throwing her life away, even if DANI marrying Andre is a big mistake, that one mistake is not going to send your asses back to poverty. That one mistake is not going to take the millions out of your account. That one mistake is not going to stop other senators and congressmen from calling Vernon. It's not. So why are we acting like it is? Because you're caught in a cycle of like performing again Anita Dupree versus actually being a person as Anita Dupree. And I take big issue with people who are more committed to performance than presence. I don't respect it. I understand it. I understand how it happens. And I feel like I have seasons where I've done it, but I don't respect it. We are tired of Anita. She don't know her own daughters. She needs to mind her business and know that she don't own her children. Yes. Yes. Hey, KB Mommy. Welcome in. Welcome in. Thank you for joining. Oh, Anita still presenting herself as Anita Williams from the Articulates. I think that she still sees herself as that because she still has so much guilt and shame tied to the decisions that she makes, which is why she leans into like, we're Duprees. We're Duprees. Like, who the hell are you trying to convince? We know that. I think that's a good point though. Hey, Carolyn, welcome in. Carolyn says internal and external wounds. Yes. Oh, let me update this. I forgot. The channels that I mentioned, y'all, I'm putting them in the chat now. I mean, in the description now. Oh, it's So What You Think. Is it? I think. I think. Shout out to KB Mommy. I met KB Mommy over on So What You Think's channel. Let me double check, y'all. At the start of this live, I shouted out the 2 channels that I visited that also do Beyond the Gates content. Oh wait, that's not it. Oh wait. Wait, what's her channel? Oh, What You Thinking? Ah, okay. I think I got it. But I can also put it in the chat. Yes, that's it. Here are the channels that I mentioned, y'all. Also put them in the description box. I'm glad I saw you, KB Mom, because I forgot to update my description box to include that. And I was like, oh, I'll put it in the description box. No, you didn't, Erica. What is Shade in the City channel name? Child, I'm subscribed, so hold on. Oh, N. Just the N, not N. Ah, got it. Okay. Not the quick break. Sorry, my bad, y'all. These are a couple creators who are doing their thing. Ah, damn it. Hold on. So, What You Think and Shade in the City. Shade in the City does reenactments. And we were on TikTok live, and the girl who plays Allison had a live, and I was able to get her to go check out Shade in the City's channel and watch the reenactment. So that was really dope. If y'all want to call in, you can. The Discord link is up above, and that's how you call in. When you join the Discord, it'll put you in a waiting room, and then I'll see it, and then I can bring you into the call. Keena says I think that's why Vernon and Anita be on their children and grandchildren, but they offer different advice, because Vernon from Jim Crow era knows, yes, I'm Vernon, but in an instant it can be taken away. Anita is still processed. I'll agree with that. Oh, thank you, Naisha. I'm glad that you're enjoying it. Hey, the Lawrence Report. Oh my God, I haven't seen you in months. How are you? Thank you. Not you behind. It was so good this week, Lawrence. I did 2 videos that was almost an hour long. Well, one video was almost an hour long. The other video was 43 minutes. It was good this week. I'm on live. That's how good Beyond the Gates was this week, Lawrence. You won't have to catch up. Get your binging together. Come on now. It's like she's still so guilty about her past mistakes regarding Barbara that she's projecting it onto her daughters, especially DANI. FYI, Team DANI since day one. Please don't come for me in the chat. I am Team DANI from day one. I just talked about it. When you go back and watch the replay, you're going to see I love DANI down. DANI, get behind me. Me and my grandmother were arguing about DANI from episode 1. She was on DANI's ass, and I was like, actually, Grandma. And she's like, of course, you're crazy behind is gonna love her. You always talking that rah-rah. Shout out to my grandma. I love her. Thank you, KB Mommy. Thank you. I know they long, child, but it seemed like y'all enjoyed them, so I'm glad. I went with my gut and just said everything I wanted to say. And bump how long it's gonna be. I gave it to y'all real rat raw, and it seemed like y'all like it. Anita don't want to be seen as Anita Williams, but as Anita Dupree from The Articulates, and wants her kids to have the proximity to that, even though they have their own lives. And that's it. Okay, so it be layers to it for me, right? I don't respect people who can never put down the mask. I understand the purpose of the mask, but I don't respect you if you don't ever put it down. And then On another layer, I get even more enraged if your mask requires the performance of other people. Because it's one thing for you to be shucking and jiving, hemming and hawing, because you want to be perceived a certain way in this world. That is for you and Jesus to work out, baby. If that's what you want to do, fine. But now you are coercing other people around you to be people that they don't actually want to be, to do things that they don't actually want to do, all because of how it's going to help you look like who you want to be. Bump that. Bump that. Now this is fighting words. Now I'm on your ass because your issue and your lack of honesty, your lack of self-awareness, and your deep desire for external validation is all your problem. And I don't think parents in particular really understand when they project this type of stuff onto their kids, or like their kids have to be this certain way because of how it affects them, how harmful they are to the damn children. And it's not necessarily intentional. I don't think most parents set out to be like, yeah, I'm trying to mentally and emotionally harm my child by making them do X, Y, and Z. But it is harmful in those ways. And I'm speaking from experience of like my immigrant ass daddy. I love my daddy down. Love my daddy down. But we done had our issues. I love my mama down. But I had to go to therapy about my mommy and daddy issues because I, for a very long time, was the eldest daughter, the eldest granddaughter, the well-to-do one, the first one in my whole age, like my mom was the first one to, oh no, my uncle was the first one to go to college. But on my level, only one other cousin, went to college and he's behind me. And in a lot of ways, specifically from my father's side, my father, oh my God, he's from St. Thomas, but he still has this immigrant ass mindset. He brought his ass here and he met my mom at Morgan State University. And my dad has like 4 degrees, super smart. All my dad, all my life ever gave a damn about was making sure you have food in your mouth, a roof over your head, clothes on your back, and books in that bag, because you need to learn as much as you possibly can. He don't give a damn about prom. He don't give a damn about friends. My father, I was an athlete. I started playing basketball in 1st grade. Wound up getting a basketball scholarship, right? Like, literally was that good. Also played volleyball, like, did a bunch of things. My father didn't even give a damn about sports. He was like, I hear you. You good. You can put a ball in the damn hoop, but what did them grades do? So much of my younger years was like having to like get A's and B's only, and having to be this and having to be that. And my mom, oh my God, my mom was interesting. She was experiencing her own things. And like, I was the like good daughter, and my mom was like partying and doing certain things. And I felt so much pressure coming up to do things right, to be smart, to be responsible, and to do things a certain way because of like how my parents projected their lived experience and like their expectations on me. So now I'm just like, and I don't fault them for it, because a lot of it helped me, right? And I'm only able to break through and be like, okay, well, no, actually, you want me to do this thing, I'm going to go do this thing. And that was hard too. Like, I'm supposed to be a damn doctor right now, y'all. I have a master's degree in biology. I was supposed to be a damn doctor. Supposed to go to medical school and everything. One of the most formidable times, I think, where things started to shift for me is when I decided not to go to medical school. After graduate school, after I had been working at an organ procurement company for 2.5 years, and I decided that I was going to throw all of my weight into like journalism and media and work on my website, and when I told my father that I was no longer planning to go to medical school, it took me months to tell him. And I was so scared. But ultimately, you want to be in the right decision for me. So cool. But I'm just giving y'all a little bit of context of like me and like experiencing certain things, and the amount of like emotional and mental stress that your kids experience behind that. And I understand that a lot of times it's not intentional. My father, for a lot of the decisions that he's made and the rhetoric that he's pushed my way, it's because some of those things was pushed to him, and because his parents had to fight like on this island to amass the things that they amassed, and he wanted me to always be good, and my dad loves me down. But so much of like what he communicated to me was toxic and was not healthy, and did not take into account who I wanted to be as a person and what I wanted to do. It was like, you do these things to be successful. You do these things to do X, Y, and Z. And like, now I'm in a place where I realize it's not just about how much money you make. It's not just about the title that you hold. Like, are you happy? There are so many people, in my experience, there are so many people who are living life right now, just existing, or miserable. There's no real in between. I might not have all the money in the world. I might not have every single thing I want. I want my shows to be on TV. Like, I want to sell the damn pilots that I wrote. But baby, when I tell you, I feel as close to free as I have ever felt, and for the most part, as consistently happy as I have ever felt. And that is the thing that I use now to guide the decisions that I make within my life. But our parents come from a place of like, well, you got to be financially stable, and you got to do this, and you got to do that. We now live in a world where you're not even stable at that damn job. My mom had to retire early this year because she worked for the IRS for 38 years. And this year, Trump came in and got rid of her position. The government is supposed to be the most surefire thing that you could possibly do. And she worked for them for 38 years. And the hell that she caught earlier this year in this transition, and it's still catching because also there are certain things that they haven't wrapped up yet, is wild. And seeing certain things play out, I think a lot of our parents are also in a place now where they're waking up to like, things are not what we thought they were going to be and things have shifted. But I said all of that to say, you cannot you cannot intend to harm your kids or harm your spouse or harm your sibling with projecting your expectations and your needs on them. But the harder you push for them to occupy a particular place in life, to do a certain thing, to be a certain person, for the sole purpose of how it impacts you, that is diabolical, and you need to address it. And you need to then repent for it, because life is too hard. It gets too real. Your experience by yourself is already one thing, to have to contend with letting down this person that you love because you couldn't be who they needed you to be when you are fighting tooth and nail to be who the hell you need to be for yourself. That's why I got my beef with ANITA. I know I just went on a random ass tangent, but that's why I feel like ANITA is toxic and it needs to be addressed. She needs to be addressed, because in addition to her toxicity and her expectations for her daughters being harmful for them, it's ultimately harming her because she's locked in the cage of this performance that you committed to. And maybe you have shifted, ANITA. Maybe you want different things, but you're so committed to honoring the validation of others and what others see on the outside that you can't even be true to yourself and whatever the hell you got going on inside of you. Girl, I would hate to live that. I really would. KB Mommy says, what's happening now is what I predicted early on, and we had Bill Haley child bride superfan come for me every single live. Now they won't show up in the lives because they can't take it. Being a Bill Haley child bride superfan is wild work. I haven't experienced any of those yet. Hey Finn, I'm glad when y'all leave me message or comments and say I made your work day or you're listening at work and it's helping you get through. It makes me so happy. I'm so glad that y'all are enjoying the videos. I'm really grateful to have this platform, because I know that I'm not like other commentators, and I talk about things in a way that most people don't. So I already know that what I'm saying is not necessarily the most popular things to say. So I appreciate every single person who comes, who subscribes, who posts a comment, who drops a like. Like, I greatly appreciate y'all because I get it. The long videos you posted this week are very detailed and on point. Oh, thank you, Jacqueline. Thank you so much. Linda says, yes, you had to get to the root of things. Now you have a balance. It's a wonderful thing to get to the bottom of family issues. It is, but it's also a very scary thing, which is why some of our family members will never do it. Confronting real truths, it's not easy. It's hard. And one of the things that I remind myself when I'm navigating relationships with others is that people can only meet you as deeply as they met themselves. And when I remind myself of that, when I'm getting frustrated with somebody, or when I'm like, why don't this person understand this? That helps ground me in, like, people can only be as honest with you as they are honest with themselves. People can only be as compassionate with you as they are with themselves. People can only like or love you as much as they have loved themselves. And that shifts a lot of things for me. Um, oh, thank you. Keena says, I think she's so focused on perfection. That's why the family has so many issues. Yes. Yes, the pursuit of perfection will take you out every single time. And that's something I had to learn the hard way, because you never going to reach it. You are never, no person is ever going to actually arrive at perfection. It doesn't mean that you don't have to pursue greatness, that you don't have to pursue iconic level things, but perfection is never going to happen. So you need to, the earliest that you can understand and accept that perfection is never an option, the easier it will be for you to navigate the ups and downs and to adapt as you go on a journey and continuously discover that you'll never reach perfection. Hey, Linda, welcome back. Thank you. Thank you. So y'all, so far we've talked about Nicole and Carlton. So if you just popping in, you can rewind and hear the take about that, because they asked what I think about Nicole and Carlton. Right now we were talking about Anita and how Anita is toxic. Prior to that, I don't even remember what we were talking about before. Child. We've been on her for an hour. But we are unpacking this week at Fairmont Crest. You can't wait when Anita's sugar honey iced tea starts to spell. I think, and I said this in one breakdown earlier, y'all, I think that it's going to take for Nicole to wake up to Anita. It's going to take for a Nicole to wake up to Anita, to start to clock certain things with Anita, and then push back with Anita before Anita really starts to see herself fully. Nicole gonna have to be the one to do it. DANI has already made some valiant points, but DANI is the baby. DANI is the eccentric one. DANI is the impulsive one. You can't really take too much of what DANI says seriously, which is wild to me because I feel like DANI is the most honest one. The grandkids are the grandkids, so they're not really going to listen to them. It's going to have to be Nicole. And I don't think that Vernon is going to be honest with Anita either, because he cares too much about how she feels about the things that he say. The moment that she stops forcing perfection, things will run smoothly. Yep. What if Vernon is Leslie's daddy? Child, I thought that early on. Honestly, I could see how they would go to that place, but I'm hoping that they don't, because I'm personally tired of Leslie getting wins. And I know that she's not actually winning all around. Like, she has a terrible, miserable ass life where she's just obsessed with this family and forcing herself into this family. And she wakes up in the morning and tries to figure out how she can ruin a Dupree's day, which is not a great life to live. But on the surface, she gets so many licks on this family. Like, she gets the upper hand too much. And something about Vernon actually being her biological father feels like another win for her. And I hate it. I hate it so much. Ty says, I will stop watching if they go there. You out. Listen, I'm low-key really here for the Danny Dupree of it all. And then behind that, I'm rooting for Jacob. I really am. Like, I like Jacob and Naomi. I do. Kat is my girl as well. I haven't talked about Kat as much this week. But I love me some Kat as well. And I know that gets a little bit tricky. I'm here to not only liberate Black women who have been normalized into the patriarchy to dismiss and sacrifice their damn selves, but I'm also here to equalize the conversation between the haves and the have-nots, because in my opinion, and looking at how people respond to Nicole and Kat specifically, I feel like there's animosity there simply because they have money, not because they're actually terrible people. Me and my grandmother argue about this too. She can't stand Kat. Kat is spoiled. Kat is this. Kat is that. You don't know spoiled if you think that Kat is spoiled. You don't know spoiled if you think Kat is spoiled. If anything, I feel like Chelsea probably could be more spoiled than Kat is. Yes, Kat moves with a certain level of a air about herself, but she is very down to earth in various circumstances. But because she's been put into the circumstance of an interloper infiltrating her damn family with her mistress ass mama, wreaking havoc with the nuclear bomb that they came in reference to the truth about their actual existence, Kat had to be on guard, and she's very protective of her family. I think that she's guarded, as a lot of people of affluence are, but I don't think that Kat is just the spoiled brat that people want to make her out to be, because if she was the spoiled brat, she wouldn't be able to be convinced to go make nice with Eva. She wouldn't be bowing down to Tomas' worthless ass. Like, she would just be moving with a lot more arrogance than what she actually does. And I think that people don't give her credit because she has money, and people automatically assume you got money, you shouldn't have no problems, you got money, like, girl, relax. Because she likes to look good, because she likes to put herself together, because she carries herself in a certain way, oftentimes how people will want to carry themselves but can't find the discipline and the self-awareness to actually do what needs to be done so that you can do that, then you have this grudge against this girl and project all of these characteristics onto her that don't actually apply, because you actually have beef with people who have money, maybe because you don't. And I'm not faulting you because of that, because baby, I am not rich by any means. I am from Baltimore. I'm not from PG or Fairmont Crest where their bases is at. Your girl's from Northeast Baltimore City. Here. But I understand sometimes the innate, like, oh, she's not one of us, or I don't like her simply because she seems so damn different, when I feel like Kat is just like any other girl. She just comes from money, and she does not use that money to manipulate people. She does not project that her money makes her better. Kat says that she's better than Eva because she moves with discipline. She moves with consistency. She communicates a certain way. Like, she's not leaning on her money as the thing that makes her feel like she's better than Eva. She's leaning on her intellect and how she sees herself show up versus how she sees Eva showing up. And Eva showed up sneaky. Eva showed up like a snake. Eva showed up and it was like, wait, what the hell's going on here? So yeah, maybe those are my missions in life, y'all. To bridge the gap between the have and the have-not ladies, and to free all the other black ladies, to tell them, girl, if you're not getting what the hell you need from what the hell this person is offering, that man is offering, your mama is offering, your daddy is offering, your sister is offering, lead them people where they at and go get what you want in this life, because this life is short. Do y'all see what the hell is happening outside? Do y'all see what is happening in the United States of A? You better go out here and get some of your joy. You better go out here and pursue the thing that you feel deeply desired. You better go out here and live the life that your ass want to live. Because otherwise, what the hell you doing? What the hell you doing? Being loyal to a man that won't be loyal to you? Honoring a sister that hates you? Like, no, we ain't doing that. Free yourselves. Free yourself. Be radically honest with yourself. Ask yourself, what the hell do I want in this life? Myself said, whatever that looks like. And then go after it, baby, with reckless abandon. If you not available to do X, Y, and Z for so-and-so, and you usually available for that, but you not available no more because you chasing down this thing that you want so bad, then so damn be it. They will figure it the hell out. You do. You have to figure out everything for yourself. I'm here to free my people, y'all. I have been freed. I'm here to free y'all. KB says, I love Kat. Yes. Anybody who don't like Kat in the chat, it's okay. We're not going to jump you. If you have a take about you don't like Kat, and it's not just because, oh, she's spoiled, and you got more meat to it. You got a little bit of receipts to back it up. You got some things that you want to speak to that you didn't like that she did specifically. Please tell me, because I would love to have that conversation. Because Kat bring up money too much. Okay, perfect. Lulu, when did she bring up money? When did she bring up money? I'm also that girl. Like, I'm a girl of receipts, baby. That's why sometimes when I'm going on tangents and rants, I give y'all the context of like my lived experience or something that might have happened to me, or I'll pull from a specific episode, because it's one thing to say something and for you to believe something is true. That's fine if it's true for you, but can you back it up? And if you're going to back it up, the conversation comes from what you back it up with. We can all just spout out, Kat is full, Eva is trash. But if we don't have no follow up to the argument, in reference to that particular point, then we're not having a conversation. We're just saying things to each other. You know what I'm saying? So if you could give me an example of when she was bringing up money too much, I would love that. And I'm genuinely asking, like, I'm not being facetious or anything. I want to clarify because I know so many new people here. So some of y'all might not know how I talk, or like if I'm like trying to be this or that. I try to be very straightforward, y'all. So like what you see is what you get when it comes to me. But I might be over communicating right now because I want to be very clear. When she continued to talk about where she comes from in and around about way, such as the clothes that Eva wear, the type of shoes that she wears. Okay. I think that that's fair. Lulu, I have never heard Kat say that she was from the ghetto. I have never heard the word ghetto come out of Kat's mouth. Y'all will have to give me an episode number and a time code before I co-sign that. I will talk about the clothes conversation, but I have never heard Kat call that girl ghetto. But to the clothes thing. All right. I love that. Yes, Kat has been clowning this girl about her clothes because she gives hippie. She gives eclectic. She gives earth girl. And what I'm saying in reference to like liking Kat, it doesn't mean that I think that Kat is perfect, because I don't think that she's perfect. I just don't think that she's a spoiled brat. I think that Kat was intimidated by Eva. I think that Kat has a lot of what Nicole had. Like, Kat is destined to be what Nicole is, honestly. And it's unfortunate for her because she is like following along in the plan, in the path of like the Dupree women and sticking up to this. I felt like when Eva first popped up, maybe she don't like her clothes, but I didn't feel like she was saying she didn't like her clothes specifically because you look poor, because I don't think that Eva looks poor. I felt like she didn't like her clothes because Eva looks free. Eva looks like she tries things. Eva looks like she's open. Eva isn't as constrained to an identity like Kat is. Kat has decided who she is and she operates like that. She dresses like it. She wears her hair like it. She puts her makeup on like it. And it's her thing. But Eva has been trying a bunch of things. I think that they've done a very brilliant job visually with the soap and the choices for clothing, for the choices for makeup, and the choices for hair, because there's so much visual storytelling being had as well in addition to the dialogue that's taking place. And for me, yes, you can assume 100%. I'm not saying nobody's wrong for assuming that Kat is saying, oh, you're poor because of your clothes, but I also think that there's a certain level of freedom that you can see in Eva by how she chooses to dress, by how colorful and how textured and how different her clothing is. Kat has been conditioned in the ANITA Dupree womanness of it all. Even DANI, the freer spirit, she might wear little risky things here and there, deep V's or whatever, but it's still all pretty clean cut. Eva sticks out not because, again, her clothes look like she's poor. She sticks out because her clothes are not as clean cut Fairmont crest of it all. So I felt like that is what that was, and that does feel elitist. I'm not saying that she doesn't. There has been times where Kat has been in her elitist bag, but I don't think that you're automatically stuck up or you're automatically a spoiled brat because there's times in which you think that you're better than somebody, especially in a circumstance like what she's been presented with Eva. And I'm saying that because follow me here. That's the first thing. So you're introduced to this girl who looks this complete other way, looks otherworldly. Whether that's poor or not, that's not what I'm saying. She looks otherworldly. You don't recognize this. Maybe you want to experience this. Maybe you have wanted to try this, but you never did because that's not how the pre-women dress. So that's one thing. Then your spidey senses go off and you feel like this girl has nefarious intentions. And then you start to experience things that you can't actually prove to other people, and they are not believing that she has nefarious intentions, but you know that she has nefarious intentions. But the only thing that you have been able to speak to and that you know and that you can see is that she looks different. So you're going to harp on she looks different because you don't have any other language to prove that she's actually a problem. And that's what I took it as with her laying into her about how she looks, because I personally love Eva style. So I feel like it's more than that. But again, I've watched the show from a place of trying to see as much as possible. And I think the surface level take is, oh, Kat is a spoiled brat. But we communicate so much in the things that we choose to say and the things that we choose not to say, and also in the things that we don't even know how to articulate yet. Does that make sense? And that's just to the point that you made, Lulu, about her thinking she's better because of money. I don't think that she thinks that she's better because of money. I think that she thinks that she's better because of integrity, especially now. I think that she thinks she's better because of her discipline and all of the things that I have previously listed. So hopefully that makes sense. But that's my rebuttal for the conversation around when Kat speaks about her clothes, she's calling her ghetto and poor. You don't like the way that Kat speaks down to Eva. I think that Kat is a bit of a mean girl, says Linda. Instead of talking about how she dresses, show her how to dress better. She don't know her. With all due respect, Linda, she don't know her. And she thinks that this girl is coming into her world for nefarious reasons. She's magically finding herself very, very close to her parents. And then as things go along, she's finding more and more reasons to continue to distrust her because she's catching her doing nefarious things. But she's supposed to give her fashion tips. Do I think that Kat can have mean girl energy? Maybe. But I might be biased because when it comes to the people that I love in my family, I'm a mean girl too. Like if I think that you're coming for the people that I love unprovoked, oh, but do you need that? Because you can get it without a question. Honestly, without a question. So I think that we are in this day and age of like girls girl, and I believe myself to be a girl's girl through and through, but I also will find myself being a mean girl when you got me in mind up, because don't get it twisted and don't take the kindness for weakness. Now I think people expected Kat to give Eva a chance before she made certain assumptions, but not everybody is like that. And you're not owed that, right? Like, you're not owed that. My biggest issue with Eva, up until the point that she slept with Tomas, was that we have not seen a point of her conceding to Kat. She has apologized to Martin. She has apologized to Nicole. She has apologized to Ted and seemingly meant it. But Kat has never gotten that. She has only gotten this animosity and this jealous energy when Kat deserved it just as much. So I never switched in reference to like, Kat, give her a break, because if you really were sorry for aiding your mama and destroying this damn family, if you really were sorry for how you chose to handle it when you could have went to Ted on your own well before this and make sure that this did not become the nuclear bomb that it became, then you would have also apologized to Kat, because you also interrupted and destroyed her life in this way. But no, you decided to jump into your victim bag and make Kat the big bad damn wolf, continue to cry wolf, when you were the aggressor the entire time. Y'all want me to be mad that Kat did not welcome her with open arms? She came in when she had something in her spirit that she just felt like wasn't right. I'm sorry. I'm in a space right now where I'm honoring my intuition. If something feels off about me, well, also when you meet me, I'm a person who observes everybody. You are probably going to see a smile because I'll put on my mask and I'll have a smile on my face, but I'm surveying you. I'm trying to figure you out. Before I engage with you in any kind of meaningful way, I have literally surveyed and audited who I believe you to be, and I'm addressing you and moving with you and interacting with you accordingly. That's just how it is. So no, I personally don't think that Kat owed her anything coming in. And then the moment that things started to pan out the way they were, the moment that she was catching her going through stuff, the moment that all of that stuff was happening, that was building the case of like, she's now validating that she was not wrong. And then you turn out to be a nuclear bomb for her damn family, and you want what from her? Respect? Honor? Fashion tips? Absolutely the hell not. If we would have seen a moment where Eva actually conceded and created space for Kat to feel how she feel and be validated in how she felt, then I would give Eva a little bit more grace. But she has never done that for Kat. Specifically never done that for Kat, but did that for every other of all of the other Richardsons. So no. I love Kat, but she can be a bit bratty. I do feel her feelings are valid where Eva's concerned. Bratty in what regard? Bratty in what regard? Because I feel like I got a new definition of bratty after today's episode. The way I screamed at the screen and told Haley to shut the hell up. Haley was grating on my nerves in her scene with Bill. And I was just like, I almost felt like I was in it and like, oh my God, will you shut up? And that to me gives bratty. That to me isn't Eva. Isn't Kat. She called Eva ghetto during a conversation this week. Child, once you sleep, I didn't remember that, but you're right. Because the moment that Eva slept with Tomas, girl, you can't tell me. So I was thinking up until that point, I had not. When y'all we were having a conversation around clothes and like, you're not good enough. I never heard her call her ghetto tied to her clothes or whatever. She is ghetto as hell for sleeping with that girl man. That girl's worthless ass man. So yeah, you're right. You're right. She did call her ghetto in that moment, and she was not wrong about that. And I'ma stick to that. That was some ghetto ass shit. Y'all know it was. Excuse my French. That was ghetto. That was ghetto as hell. And that's from one ghetto girl to another. There's certain levels of ghetto. I like to lean into the greatness that could be ghetto. The hood is a great place. A lot of great people come out of the hood. But then a lot of trollopy assholes come out the hood too. And that was some trollopy ghetto that she did. And y'all know it. Y'all know it. Hold on, it just refreshed for me, so I'm trying to make sure I get everybody comments. Sorry, 1 second, y'all. I also have the Discord link pinned in the chat above. In the pinned comment, y'all. So if you want to call in and speak your piece, you can do so. Eva speaks mean to Kat too. She just throws rocks and hide her hands. Exactly. Like, Kat literally has a reason to dislike Eva. Eva don't have a reason to dislike Kat. Eva's reason for disliking Kat is that Kat never liked her from the beginning. But she was right to never like you from the beginning because you came here with your mama on a goofy ass mission to blow up her family. Like, I feel like people are forgetting who started this. and I feel like people are mad that the prim and proper pretty girl got a little bit of claws on her too. Like, y'all are mad that she doesn't just bow down to Eva. Some of y'all are mad that she don't just concede and cry. No, I'm here for it. KB Mommy says, I love Eva's style. I love her style too. I love her style. Yes, I think Eva leans into her boldness, her freedom, and even how her hair is with the natural look. Yeah, yep. Eva's more bohemian dress where Kat is more buttoned up in a pretty package. Exactly. I don't think she's spoiled brat, but she's leaning to elitist and was raised to dress a certain way. 100%. Eva is comfortable in her choice of dressing. Yes. And honestly, Eva, I would probably say her fashion sense and her style, right? Her overall style, her makeup and everything is a front. Eva projects that she's confident and cool girl, bohemian girl. On the inside, she is insecure AF. Yes, it does, but Kat always looks down on her. Okay, so is the problem for you that Kat looks down on her? Because I hate to break it to you. There's always going to be somebody to look down on, and there's a certain level of like common decency and respect that you have human to human, right? Which I get, but I don't think people are owed the level of consideration that people are trying to task Kat with giving Eva. And I want to go to the point of like, is there people that I look down on? No, because of, yes, actually, there are people that I look down on, but I don't actually find myself in community with those people. The moment that I feel like I don't like you or I think I'm above you, for whatever those reasons are, I move out of community with you. I do not befriend you. I do not engage with you, so that I don't put myself in a position to give you glaring looks or to say something slick, even though I probably won't say something slick because I trained a certain way, so I get it. But I think it's unrealistic to say people don't look down on other people unless they're spoiled brats, because that's just not true. It's not true. And I'm not saying that you're saying that specifically, but that's what I'm like. That's how I'm processing it. And there's a bunch of people who I look down on. There's a bunch of people when I'm just finding people going through TikTok. I block a lot of people I look down on. Like this is some low vibrational. I'm not dealing with this. Block. I don't ever want to see it again. And for me, it's just as simple as that. Kat doesn't have the privilege of that. Like, and that's the problem. Kat does look down on Eva. Whether you agree that she's right or wrong for doing so, she also would like to not find herself in community with Eva anymore. But even her mama won't go away. So she's also put in the circumstance of having to be confronted with this person that she dislikes. So this person is getting energy like, oh, she don't like you, and she's giving negative energy. But you're also kind of forcing her hand. So like you're trying to force her to like this person, because if she don't, then she's a spoiled brat and her character's in question, when they could just leave her the hell alone. But they won't. Kat's not spoiled. She's a wise young lady, says Dorothy. I agree. I agree. But it's easier. It's easier to blame the haves versus the have-nots. You were so satisfied to watch Eva slide down the wall. Ahmad. 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 This is going to put my damn girl status in the question for a minute, but I'm going to be honest, I was very satisfied by that too. I was very satisfied by that too, because why did you do that? Why? I don't even believe, like, I think that Eva could like Tomas, but I don't think that she is as attracted to him as she thinks. She's attracted to the idea of winning something over Kat. And right now it happens to be Tomas, which is makes it a double why. So you just gave this man a cookie to try to prove yourself to be better than your half sister. And he's a loser. Triple red flag. Triple, why would you do that? This is dumb as hell. I took too much enjoyment in watching this lesson be learned by her. I don't want her to suffer like that consistently in purgatory ever. Like, I don't want her to experience this ever again, but I recognize that she needed to experience it, and I'm glad that she did. Because what the hell were you thinking? You don't like how she looks down on her, but you do understand it. That's real. That's real. And I would just ask yourself, is there anybody that you look down on, and what are your reasons for doing so? I think I'm able to defend characters like Kat because I'm able to be honest about some of the unpretty parts of them, characteristics in them that I also hold. Kat never received the apology from either of her parents for the suspicions of Eva from day one. Yep. Kat had valid reasons that were never acknowledged. Yep. 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 The only thing that smudges Eva's character is her chasing after someone else's boyfriend. I also think that she genuinely likes someone else. That's not the only thing that smudges her character, Kendridi. That's not the only thing. For me, I got off the Eva train when she hid that helmet in them gloves. Because Laura could have died twice. When she hid that helmet in them gloves, I said, oh, girl, you are not my girl. I'm not going to be able to do it. I understood to a certain extent with you being raised by a damn lunatic and you being indoctrinated into this goofy ass mindset. But you doing that, going as far as to do that, and then the whole thing around Kat finding it, and a lot of the animosity came out for Kat when she found those things in particular in Eva's room. Like, y'all not giving Kat enough grace, because if it was me and I found it, I might have beat Eva's ass. Y'all lucky Kat shooting looks and talking about clothes. Because Erica, Jacob will be sick of me. I can't get you out of prison no more, Erica. Well, shit. She could have killed Laura not once but twice, and Eva hid the evidence, knowing that her mama attempted murder on this girl twice. No. Nope. Okay, you can agree that we all look down on somebody. I'm not saying that the people who don't like Kat are wrong. I just think the majority of people who don't like Kat don't like her because it's easy to dislike the confident girl with money, the girl who stands up for herself. And we are honestly, especially if you are also a person who comes from the side of the table that's the have-nots, which I would consider myself that, right? It's almost like we're normalized to root for the underdogs, regardless of what the underdogs do. And I just try to be as honest as possible. So there was a certain point where I was giving Eva grace, but for me, the breaking point was the helmet and the gloves. Kat has been pushed into the position she is in now. I see the big picture. Yeah. That's the thing, KB Mommy. I'm so glad that you said it that way. I would go ahead and agree with y'all that Kat is a spoiled brat if she was doing any of the things that she do unprovoked. She has been provoked every step of the way. Every step of the way. And then you don't like the response? Baby, you better leave my ass sleeping. Cause if you come waking me up with some rock, and you get mad at how I respond and where I take it to, that's going to be on you, between you and Jesus, honey. It's going to be between you and Jesus. Dorothy, I think I missed the first part of your comment because I don't understand. You said by being called ghetto, I would have slept in till... I'm not sure what you mean, boo. You hate that Kat enables her mom? Kat? Oh, Eva. You hate that Eva enables her mom. You don't wish that Leslie is killed off. But if only there was some sort of storyline that stopped Eva from having a strong relationship with her mom. Yeah, I need that. I need that as well. I need that. That would be the thing that would help me root for Kat again. I mean, not Kat, Eva again, and give her, like, okay, if she's gonna go on a redemption journey, the first thing she got to do is decenter and divorce her mama. She has to do it. You can't provoke the man and complain about the response. Exactly. When Anita was sitting there bonding with Leslie, I almost lost it. How could you explain anything to someone that hurt her child? Because Anita is still grappling with her shame and guilt tied to Barbara. That's the only thing. In that moment, this is not the woman who participated in the deep betrayal and the hurt of my child. This is Barbara's daughter. That was very clear to me. Delulu gets away with way too much. She does. She does. She just running amok. And every time the Duprees try to stop her or get in the way, she circumvents it. I'm like, how? I just knew they got her ass kicked out of the club. She gonna buy a sports complex. With what money? How much money? How many millions is in this damn trust fund? Because golly, she buying a house to tear it down to build a new damn house. She buying a damn sports complex over here. She bought a whole damn apartment building over here. When is the money gonna run out? Anita, what were you thinking? Because golly, all this shit, girl. Child. Leslie gets away with entirely too much. It is ridiculous. My word. Y'all, we're going to be in here for another 10 more minutes because I got to go and edit today's video on top of my other breakdowns. I've thoroughly enjoyed talking with y'all. Anything else you want to talk about before we get out of here? We unpacked a good amount of stuff. I'm going to have to come back to this live and take notes and like see if I need to expound upon anything in some videos, because y'all had me really thinking about some stuff and like processing in real time things that I hadn't considered in the way that we talked about it on this live. That's what I thought. I thought she only got $1 million. Like, $1 million is $1 million, but it ain't all of that. A sports complex. When she tell y'all, oh, y'all be listening to like the interviews that they do and stuff. I don't really be tuned into that. Like I'm like slowly but surely tipping my toe. I haven't gotten on Twitter and like gotten into conversations with the writers or anything. I know some of y'all doing that. I've just been going out and like trying to find other creators and joining their conversations and like easing my way. Other than that, I'm just being my own world, watching the show, telling y'all, calling up my grandma, arguing with her about it because she get the fussing. So I don't know a lot about what's happening outside of the show. You're not sure why people expect Kat to grovel at Eva's feet, considering the level of evil that Leslie and Eva spread. Also, Ted is not protecting the family, so Kat feels like someone has to do it. That's it right there, Lily. That is it right there. And I don't blame her for it. I would be doing a lot of the things the same. And honestly, I would be doing Eva worse. That's also probably part of it, y'all. Eva would have caught my hands already. She just would have. I'm not saying I would have been right to do it, but she would have caught my hands already. They doing way too much with her character. Yeah. Child, Twitter is interesting. You definitely have to call in the future. You're going to start watching episodes twice together. Your notes. Okay. Come with the notes. I love that. I love that. Y'all, my channel, I haven't done as much recent, or the explosion of my channel has not been on the back of like exclusive interviews. So I do like red carpet stuff and all of that. Like I started with a blog, an entertainment blog, and it's transformed into this. But the crux of like my recap content that you're seeing now is built off of conversations I was having with family and friends about shows that I love, and they don't give a damn about it. And they're like, Erica, you are like geeking out right now about this character, and girl, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. So like I literally started to do this type of content specifically just so I can express myself. So it's been so dope to be able to cultivate an audience and a community that like wants to discuss these things in the ways that I do. So I am just so immensely grateful that y'all are here, that you are enjoying the content. I am honored that my voice and that my perspective and how I'm able to articulate things does things for people out in the world. I have looked at television for so long, going back to like One-on-One and Moesha and Living Single and Girlfriends, and I have used television in a lot of ways to parent myself, to discover myself as a woman. And like I have spent seasons of my life modeling myself, good, wrong, bad, right, or indifferent, after certain characters, and like getting into the psyche of said characters and like modeling whether things that I want to do versus what I would never want to do, what I want to experience, what I don't want to experience after characters. So I've always like had this level of like, I guess, analysis and consideration when it comes to this. And that's what I try to bring to my content, because I feel like so often storytelling is like one of the most important things that we can do. It helps us learn. It helps us grow in empathy and compassion. I think it helps us be better humans. So a lot of times what you guys are hearing as I'm discussing characters or discussing the story is me also investigating the characters in a way, in the world in which it is, so that I could pull out nuggets that I can use or reaffirm things that I believe or learn new things. And I want to share that with other people, because I think it would be really great if more people could learn from others or learn from fiction, right? Whether that's TV, movies, books, like not have to go through every bit of the lumps that come with life and making certain decisions, but like see something play out on screen and like unpack it. And what does it mean to you? And what does it draw up for you? And would you do this? And what would you do differently? And that's why I have the conversations in the way that I do, because it's not just TV for me. It's not just a movie for me. Aside from my commentary and my critique, I also write these types of stories, and I also direct, and I'm here in LA looking to make that part of my career grow. So I hope that's something that people can take from it, and like seeing yourself in my commentary, in my conversation, and coming here, and especially on the live streams, which is the best opportunity for it, of being able to unpack what an episode or a character brought up for you. What are you thinking about now? What made you mad? What made you happy? What would you want to try because you've seen Danny do, you know what I'm saying? Like that to me is when these stories become bigger than what they are on the screen, and then they become important and impactful for your life. And I just want that for us. I didn't mean to do that little TED talk, but I know it's a lot of new people here, and I haven't, positioned that part of what I feel like part of my purpose is to this part of my audience, the Beyond the Gates part. Like my All-American people have heard this before. Some of my sisters people have heard this before, but now y'all have heard it. So I'm hoping that my channel can continue to do that, or is doing that for you guys. And yes, I cannot wait for y'all to call in and like us have conversations. If you're new here, check out some of my other videos. Check out some of my other live streams. I do a live stream after episodes of Sisters each week with Allie Nick, and that's a really great conversation. We are unpacking sisters, but we're also talking about life and love and sisterhood in a very nuanced way. Lily says, also my husband and I respect Kat more because you don't have to guess where you stand with her. Yes, Eva pretends to be this naive and kind person, but meanwhile, she's just as calculated as Leslie. Lily, you just hit the nail on the head. That I didn't even realize that. I have loved Kat from the beginning as well, and I've said in this live that I love Dani because she's so honest. Kat is, that's why. That's at the core. You don't have to guess where you stand with her. And I can respect people like that so that I know how to move accordingly. Eva's problem is that Kat is telling her where she stands, but she wants to stand differently, but don't want to do the work to hold a different position in her life. And that's where the tension comes in. KB Mommy says, also the current writer of these past few scenes is from Tyler Perry Studios, and he said that he was not expecting all of the love from this week's clapbacks between Dani and Bill. KB Mommy, can I tell you a secret? I knew that Jamie was coming to Beyond the Gates, and I was mad about it. And at some point, I'm gonna reach out and I'm gonna secure an interview with him, and I'm gonna apologize, because the way that I hated the episodes that he wrote over there on Sisters. I hated them so bad. I said, this man is fucking up this show. I can't do it. But him being behind some of the greatest conversation that we've seen thus far, I was really shocked. When I saw his name pop, I said, oh my God. So it wasn't your writing. It's TBS. So yes, he is over there. And I can understand why he's shocked, because this is not the response that he was getting over in Sisters at all. At all. I was hot. I was hot. And he was actually the showrunner last season for Sisters. Miss Jen is going live in a minute. Oh, okay. When I get off here, I will join for sure. Thank you so much, KB Mommy. Thank you. No wonder this week was spicy. Eva ended up seeing her feelings hurt. Tomas is not with her. I cannot. And on that note, let's go ahead and get out of here, y'all. Thank y'all so much for joining. I hope you enjoyed this live. If you're catching this on replay, still drop a comment. I'm going through the comments all this week because I got a bunch I need to respond to for my breakdowns, but I will be checking the comments of this live stream. This has been such a wonderful conversation. I thank y'all for having me. I thank all the new people for being here. I thank all the OGs for riding with me from show to show, because you know your girl is covering quite a bit. I am so grateful to y'all. Have a wonderful rest of y'all's Friday. Enjoy y'all's weekend. Be safe. Do something that you want to do. Do something that you want to do this weekend for you, simply because you want to. Please, could you do that for me? I love you guys. Have a wonderful weekend. I'll see you in my next one. Oh, wait. People are so hard on Cat. Yeah. See y'all.